Okay, let's start with this problem. Shane went apple picking and picked 2 2/3 pounds of apples. On his way home, he stopped at his friend Maria's house and gave her 1 1/3 pounds. How many pounds of apples does Shane have left? This to me sounds like a subtraction problem. Shane starts with a certain amount, gives a certain amount away, and we want to know how much he has left. So the first thing I'm going to do is just write my equation out. 2 2/3 minus the 1 1/3 pounds that he gives away is going to give us how much he has left. And I'm going to use fraction strips to solve this. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab fraction strips to represent Shane's apples. There's 1 pound, there's 2 pounds, and here are 2/3 of a pound. And to use fraction strips to solve this, I'm just going to pretend that I'm Shane. I've got to Maria's house, and I give her a pound, and I give her a third. So there is the 1 1/3 pound that I'm giving away to Maria. They go bye-bye, and we have 1 1/3 left. So we can see using fraction strips that 2 2/3 minus 1 1/3 leaves us with 1 1/3. All right, so let's try another one. Shauna has to walk 2 1/4 miles to school. If she's already walked 1 3/4 miles, how much farther does she have to go? Well, again, this sounds like a difference, so I'm going to use subtraction. So I'm going to start by writing my equation out again. 2 1/4 total distance 2 1/4 miles total distance she has to walk, minus the 1 3/4 of a mile that she's already walked is going to leave us with the difference of how much farther she has to go. And I'm going to use fraction strips again to solve this one. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 2 wholes to represent the 2 whole miles that she walked, and then I'm going to grab 1/4 to represent the 1/4 of a mile. So there we go, 2 1/4 miles. The problem we have, though, if you look at this, is I now have to subtract 1 3/4 from 2 1/4. Well, I don't have 3/4 to subtract. I've only got 1/4. That seems like a problem until we remember that whole numbers can also be renamed as fractions. And in this case, 1 whole can be renamed as 4/4. So I can just swap out that 1 whole for those 4/4. I've still got the same amount. I've still got 1 whole, 2 wholes, and a quarter. I've still got 2 1/4 miles. It's just that I've renamed it as 1 whole mile, 4/4 miles, and 1/4 mile. Now I have enough 1/4 pieces where I can take away 3 of them. So I'm going to get rid of the 3/4 of a mile that she's already walked. And then I'm going to get rid of the 1 mile that she's already walked. And that is going to leave me with 2/4 of a mile left to go. So we can see 2 1/4 minus 1 3/4 is going to equal 2/4.